Hey folks, welcome you all to a new video. This is here Ganesh Bharadwaj. So, I had uploaded a video a few days back that was regarding the study plan for group 2 alone. So now in this video, so many students had requested me in the last 1 week to come up with a study plan for both the groups, and some people are doing their articleship and some people are just doing their studies full time. So in this video I'm going to come up with a study plan where I will be discussing the study plan for both students who are doing their articleship and for students who are not doing their articleship. And here the study plan is for students who are going to appear for both the groups. So if you're only going to write one group, it's more specifically second group, I've already uploaded a video and you can just have a look at that. So now in this video, we are going to do about the study plan for both the groups with and without articleship, right? Fine. So now let's get started. Now, first, so I'm going to share with you the study plan for students who are not doing their articleship, right? Who are not doing their articleship, that is without articleship. Now, for this calculation, I am taking an assumption that, so today I'm recording this video on the 29th of Jan, right? It is already about 6:30 right now. So let's forget today. In fact, let us forget the remaining days in this month. Just 2 more days, 30th and 31st. Let us also take that off as buffer, right? You can take that as a time to plan and all. Let us start it afresh. I am assuming you don't start, but I am just taking a very conservative assumption. Let's assume that we are starting from the 1st of Feb. So this year, it's a leap year. So you have 29 days in Feb. Feb, March, April. So 29, 31, 30. That makes it a total of 90 days available solid. And by the way, guys, your exams are starting on 3rd of May. It's only starting on 3rd of May, which means 1st and 2nd. Anyways, you will be having the 2 days study leave to prepare for your first exam. That is also being considered, right? Now, in this particular calculation, what I'm taking is 3 months, and every month has, on an average, it has 4 weeks. So 4 into 3 is 12 weeks. And every week, assume that one day you are not studying, you are not able to study, or you're taking a break. Now, that's why from this calculation, I have reduced 12 days. So now net, you have 78 productive days for the purpose of your preparation, right? So this is the calculation I've made. Now this 12 days, if you want, you can take weekly off, or once in 10 days, you can take off. It just depends. But my suggestion would be, don't take this off. No, don't take leave. Don't take a break continuously. For more than 2 days maximum, you don't take continuously. But overall, in this 90 day span, you have a total of 12 days, which is going to be your break time, right? So now for students who are not doing their articleship and who wish to appear for both the groups, now per day, a minimum of 12 hours of study is definitely required. A minimum of 12 hours of study is required. And I am talking about those students who have very little knowledge about the exams. Let's say you are a kind of student, you feel that, sir, I do not know anything, so I'm just going to start afresh. You think that you're starting afresh, but at least a few things here and there, some 5% of the syllabus at least here and there, you will at least know what is what, right? So I'm assuming that category of students, even those category of students can even make it if they start from the 1st of Feb, provided you follow this properly, and it requires some smartness. What it is, I will tell you. Right? So on minimum of 12 hours of study time is required, 12 to 14 depending on your sleep time. So the study time can increase if your sleep time is reduced. It depends. Okay, so I will give the detailed breakup, the schedule, just like how I gave for one group, I will also give it here. So now if you study for 12 days, I've taken a conservative stand, 12 days, then 78 into 12, you will get a total of 936 effective study hours. Right? And in this study hours, now depending on your level of preparation, so you can watch videos and you can revise. So if you feel that for certain subjects you need to watch more of the recordings, more of the lectures, then maybe for those particular subjects you can spend more time on watching the videos and relatively a lesser time on revision and all. This balancing you should do depending on where you stand, because that cannot be something universal that fits everyone. So it depends on your level of preparation on a particular subject. Now for this study plan, I'm taking on an average, so you have a total of 6 papers, right? So on an average, I am taking that you will require, generally institutes or many academies, totally for both the groups put together, the number of lectures, the hours of lecture is going to be 900 hours. In my opinion, 900 hours is generally, around 900 hours is sufficient, right? So if it is less than 900 hours, I mean way less than 900, like 600, 700 hours and all, then it means it's like too diluted, right? If it is extremely more than 900 also, it is like something like, it's more of, they are not that efficient. That's all we can say. So around 900 hours is the time tested. It is a time tested duration for you to attend the lectures. Now wait, I'm not saying that you need to spend 900 hours in watching the lectures. Please hear me out. Now, on an average, it takes 900 hours to learn all the 6 subjects from the scratch. That is, if you're watching regular lectures. I am not talking about fast track and all. Those are basically for revision purpose. I'm talking about students who are yet to begin, or they are just like, from a preparation point of view, they are yet to begin. What they know something in bits and pieces. That's all. They are yet to begin. Now, what you need to do is, now guys, remember, now if you start and right now, and if you want to finish 100% of your syllabus, now that is absolutely not possible. That is not possible. Moreover, it is not required only. It is not required. Now, in every subject, there is always a strategy. Now, if you see for the subjects that I handle, so P4 and P6A, that is costing and FM. If you see here, about 60 to 70% of the marks will come from about just 40 to 50% of the chapters itself. In costing, we have about 15 to 16 chapters approximately. Now, if you see, I will be releasing a video on that. So separate video for costing and FM I will be releasing. If you see, if you just cover about 8 chapters, this will contribute to about 65 to 70% of your weightage in your exam paper. Now remember, now sir, I have covered only 8 out of 16 chapters, which means I have covered only half the syllabus. Now don't look at quantity, look at the quality. Now these 8 chapters can contribute to about 65 to 70%, at times even 80% of the syllabus. Nothing like it. First focus on that. Are you clear with this? Now I'm just taking costing and it's an example because of the costing and FM, the subjects that I handle. So now out of the 16 chapters, let us say you're focusing so much on this 8 chapters. Now what do you do? Sir, I do not know anything about these 8 chapters. Now for these 8 chapters, right, what you can do is you can take the regular class if you want. That's optional. Or if you want, you do the self-study, whatever it is. You do the preparation and you complete these 8 chapters fully. Thoroughly you finish and be a master in these 8 chapters. Now it will not take much time, right? So then there is remaining 8 chapters. What should I do? For the remaining 8 chapters, what you can do is, in our example, it is 8 and 8. Okay. So depending on the subject, the strategy depends, right? For the remaining 8 chapters, don't leave it fully. Now from the new syllabus, you are going to have some MCQs and all. At least go to your ICAI study material and in the book bag, they would have given MCQs. For the remaining 8 chapters, at least cover the MCQs so that 1 or 2 marks here and there if you get, that can also make a difference. So that can make a difference between 39 and 40. That can also make a difference between 59 and 60. So your exemption or your passing can depend on these MCQs also. So do not omit the remaining chapters. At least go through the MCQs and at least tell yourself that yes, okay. So overall, anyways, 30% of the weightage for every paper is going to come from MCQs. The institute is clear about that. At least attempt it. At least attempt it. We might not know. So they might not actually test the MCQs directly. They are saying that it's going to be case study based. But no matter what, at least be prepared for the MCQs. It is not going to take much time for the remaining chapters. For these chapters, everything you complete, numericals and whatever it is. So if it is a law paper, then do it fully. Be prepared like anything. But tell yourself, guys, the chapters that you pick is going to decide your preparation. It is not like any 8 chapters I do or any 7 chapters I do. No, it does not work like that. The chapters that you pick is all that matters. So the next 2 days, take the time in doing this. It's okay. Or take 1 day time in properly doing this. So now for costing and FM, I will make a video and I will tell you short chapters, that is very important chapters. What are they? Right? Important means from an examination perspective, since right now we are closer to the exam. So that is the reason why I'm telling you. If you are a student who is only writing both the groups, please right now do not watch this video. If you're writing only one group, do not watch this video at all right now, because I have separate video for that. I've given you all the strategy. You guys have a lot more time. You have 2 times the time that a student who is going to appear for both the groups. So please do not, if you don't continue watching this video, if you're writing only one group, right? Because then you will start thinking of strategizing and all, then things will not work out. Now, so what I'm saying is, you just strategize and you only watch, but the thing here is, you only watch the important lectures, but the important chapters. But the thing here is, in our example, I said these 8 chapters. These 8 chapters are interlinked. Generally, they are interlinked. For example, if you see cost sheet in costing, you have cost sheet, then you have overheads, then you have ABC, right? See, if you see, these chapters are all interlinked. Without doing cost sheet, I cannot do overheads. Without doing overheads, I cannot go to ABC and all. Maybe these 8 chapters are standalone chapters, right? It could be a different chapter. For example, unit and batch costing or job costing and all, it could be different separate chapters. Clear with this? I'm just giving you a vague example. Exact details for my subjects I will give you separately. Do not worry about that. Fine, guys. Now, how did I do this? I will also openly tell you how am I making this analysis of what is more important. By the way, guys, this is not ABC analysis. I don't believe in ABC analysis, which generally many people do. A means important, B means medium, C means less important. Don't go by that. So question wise, you can analyze. Last 5 exam papers you take, you sit and you analyze, you will automatically come to a conclusion. But yes, right now, from May 2024 onwards, the pattern in which they are going to test is going to change, right? So we can only take a calculated risk. Even this is a calculated risk is what I am saying, because it is not necessary that from these 8 chapters only they are going to test. But what other option do you have if you are starting from the scratch right now? So if you want to study everything, you can't do anything properly. So strategize it, and with the limited time, definitely finish off the important chapters and then go to the other one. Are you clear with this? By the way, this is not ABC analysis. Please do not fall for it. Sir, for costing and FM, you will say, for the other subjects, how am I going to do it? I will tell you, it's very simple. Take the past 5 exam papers. Take the past 5 exam papers. Sir, these were old syllabus. No, sir, still it's okay. You take it, right? And you sit and analyze from which chapters they are generally testing and all these questions. If you see, for the last 16 attempts, if I'm not wrong, 2018 to 2023. So that is how many years? 5 years. 5 into 2, 10 attempts. For the last 10 attempts, every single attempt they are tested for cost sheet, right? And every single attempt, overheads, ABC, either of these 2 chapters will come, or at times both will come. Clear? So these are the analysis that you can make, and you can see even if now the pattern is going to change, from the institute's viewpoint, these chapters are important, so they will never, miss out on that. Clear with this, guys? Because certain things are very important in every single subject. They will never miss out on that. Strategize and first hit those chapters, right? Don't think that only if I finish paper 1 fully, I will go to paper 2. No, don't do that. Strategize it like this and you do it. Clear with this, guys? So if you want to cover the most important chapters, now I am taking an assumption that on an average, it will take 70% of your total duration for watching the lecture. Let us say, for example, if paper 1 has 150 hours to view the entire content, for watching the important chapters alone, let us say it takes 70% of the time, 105 hours. Clear with this, guys? Right? This is all the assumption that you do not know anything and you want to start from the scratch, right? Even then, I'm telling you, so when you are going to watch the recorded lectures or going to start your own preparation, whatever it is, or going to attend some face-to-face, whatever it is, guys, but this kind of strategy you can follow. So overall, if you watch only the important chapters of all these 6 papers, by the way, guys, when I say these important chapters, it is not from ABC analysis, number 1. Number 2, these should generally be interconnected. These will all be interconnected, because if you take and throw away, let's say in this example, you take and throw away overheads, but you say I want to do only ABC, without overheads, you can't do ABC. Clear? So maybe a chapter standalone might be less important, but that link will be there in the next important chapter, which means that other lesser important chapter should also be covered. This is where you need to be smart enough. Clear with this, guys? So every single second that you've got, use it properly in the right direction. Fine. Now, in that case, if you see, we just calculated, we have a total study time of how much? 936 hours. So if we have a total of 936 hours, on an average, overall, 600 to 630 hours, assuming you are watching 70% of, you are taking 70% of the recorded time, of the original video time you're taking. So 630 hours, you're going to watch the lectures, still you have about half of it. 306 hours you will be having just for preparing it, that is for revision. But remember one thing, guys, when you are watching the lectures, more specifically, if you're watching a recorded lecture, don't think I want to save time, so don't do this 1.5 speed, 2 speed and all. No, you're not watching a movie here. For every single minute that you're watching properly, you need to get its worth. If you are watching it quickly and all, better don't watch, because even that time is waste of time only. So it's a waste of time till, if it does not enter your mind, then it's going to be a waste of time. So watch it patiently, it's okay, but strategize whatever you're watching right now. Guys, this is only for students who are going to start it afresh from now and who are appearing for May 2024. Right? I'm being clear once again. This is not for students who are appearing in November exam, or this is also not for students who are going to write only one group. Please, I'm just making it very clear. For others, please watch it fully. I'm not talking about strategy wise right now. Clear with this, guys. Right? Now, based on the time, even the 630 hours is like too much. I don't think it will even take this many hours. Ideally, in my opinion, it takes somewhere about 500 hours. You still have about 430 hours. So sit and revise whatever you've studied just to cover the important aspects. Now, these important chapters, make sure when you are picking, it at least covers 70% of your marks, not as your syllabus. In your exam paper, at least 70% of the mark should be covered by the important chapters that you pick, and that you write properly in the exam and come. That's all. It's very good. It's very good. You can easily get an exemption. Fine. Whatever you study, that you exactly go and write it properly well, and that's about it. You will definitely get 70 to 75 marks, 70 to 75% coverage you do. Easily 60% you can get it for sure. Generally what they say is you should get at least 90% of what you have originally prepared for, right? Which means 90% of 70 is going to be 63%, right? So even if you prepare for 70% properly, and if you're able to execute it in the exam properly, an exemption is guaranteed. That's about it. You need not study the entire syllabus if you're starting right now. Are you clear with this, guys? Right? So strategize it. Now, this is something that I have mentioned. It depends on your level of preparation. You can just balance. But overall, this is the time you've got. So you decide whether you want to spend more time on watching the lectures or you want to spend more time on revising based on your level of preparation subject wise. This is something that you need to do. And here I'm doing all this to just give you an idea and tell you that it is still possible, 100% possible, even if you sit today and start preparing for your exams. Clear with this, guys? Fine. So, which means 630 hours is what we have, as per my calculation for watching the lectures, right? So, 630 divided by 6 on an average for every subject, you can watch the lectures for 105 hours and revise it for 51 hours, which means on an average, you have about 150 hours just to cover the important chapters inside every single subject. You tell me 150 hours for one subject, that too only the important part is like super. It's like, really great. You can spend a lot of time. Now, suppose, let's say in one subject, you are very strong. You don't feel like watching recorded lectures. Maybe only one chapter you want. Max 20 hours you spend in watching the recorded lectures. The other 136 hours, you will sit with your books and study. Right? You're just going to revise and you will be covering the entire subject. From an exam point of view, your exemption is guaranteed. So tell me, guys, is it going to be that difficult? Absolutely not. It is just that you need to strategize and work in the right direction. Clear with this, guys, right? So you still have about, on an average, 150 plus hours, even if you're starting your preparation from the 1st of Feb, even assuming that you're going to watch the lectures, regular lectures. This is the assumption that I'm making. Clear with this, guys? And of course, you need to be super efficient when it comes to managing your time and all. And one more thing, I will walk you through the daily schedule. That also I will tell you. And one more thing, guys, one more thing. Now, during this time itself, as you proceed during the last week of your the study holiday, that is the 3rd month, in the last week of April, right? Or maybe second half of April, plan to write at least one full paper mock exam. During the revision time, whatever it is, write at least, plan for one full paper mock exam, write it thoroughly. right? So that it is going to be very, very important for you, because the more you prepare before your exam, the lesser will be the surprises in the exam hall. So this is always time tested. So many students think, sir, I have not studied, then what am I going to write? No, whatever you have studied, sit for those 3 hours. Preferably 1:45 to 2 should be your reading time. 2 to 5, you set an alarm or whatever it is, write the paper, write it fully, clear, and try doing it. You will know where you are struggling. It will tell you so many things that you otherwise will never know. Clear with this, guys, right? Now, sir, how do I achieve it? You're saying in a day I should spend about 12 hours. How is it possible? I'm telling you guys, it's fairly easy and achievable. Now, the quality of a day begins not on the day's morning. It depends on when you go to your bed the previous night. That's what I strongly believe in. And in my opinion, it's better if you hit the bed at 9 p.m. Now, guys, whether you are a late riser or you are a person who studies in the night and all. Now, I would generally say that studying in the morning is going to be like super effective. It's scientifically proven. Now, you could be having your own reasons or your own justifications for studying late night. Now, I'm with you on that. I'm not going to oppose it. But a suggestion from my side, because I used to be a night owl. I used to study only in the night, and I know what I faced later on, so that was not something very pleasant. So basically, I would prefer, and in my final, I rectified it, and I did it only during my mornings. I woke up early in the morning, and I went to bed early to bed and early to rise. There's a saying, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Better, it's all proven, right? So now, if you go to bed at 9, assume you're going to wake up at 5. That gives you a solid 8 hours of sleep. Now, no gadgets, nothing. 8 hours of complete rest, 8 hours of full sleep. Now, the quality of your sleep depends. It actually, the more the quality of your sleep, the next day will be super effective for you, right? So now you start your day at 5 a.m. in the morning. Now, half an hour is the time to get ready. The first thing, the most important thing, you brush. And if you have a habit of doing yoga or some breathing exercises, even deep breaths, take 10 deep breaths, that will also be enough. And first thing, take a bath, because when you wake up, you will be so lazy and you'll be feeling so drowsy and all. Go have a bath. Yes, if you don't have cold and all that, preferably in a normal water, which is not heated water, normal water. So it will automatically energize you. That makes a difference. Yes, based on your health condition, if you are taking a warm water, even then it's fine. Now, you might be thinking, why am I stressing on so many small things? Actually, our productivity and all these things, efficiency, comes out of small daily habits which we fail to follow. If you just follow this, you yourself will see some difference in yourself. You will definitely see these differences, right? Now, start your preparation at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. 5:30 to 7:30, a solid 2 hours of study time, right? If you're writing both the groups, I said 1.5 hour slots. Yes, both the groups, time is of constraint. So 2 hours of study time you have right now. After 7:30, yes, take half an hour break, right? Maybe at this point of time, you can have your breakfast and all of that. Now, make sure that you're taking a proper break. This half an hour should be of quality, right? Maybe you can spend your time with your parents. Sir, half an hour only I have. Yes, that itself is a luxury for us, because we are running out of time. I'm still telling you, you can clear both the groups if you start right now. So yes, we need to spend our time wisely. So this half an hour, have a proper breakfast, preferably no junk and all. Have more fluids and all of that. Maybe if you want to interact with your parents, please reduce your screen time. Do not go to your social media, because in social media, people will be projecting as if they are living the perfect life, and you will get annoyed because you will be feeling that I'm the only one sitting in the room and studying and all. Trust me, guys, the social media is not the real life. It's only a real life. It's not the real life. Everyone has they face their own difficulties, but they never want to show it outside. That's about it. So better in this period, at least, since you will feel more lonely because you're spending time with your books, preferably avoid it. So the extent which is right for you. So I'm not here to tell you only do this many hours or this many minutes and all. You decide on that, but preferably try to reduce it try to keep it as minimum as possible. Now, after that, once again, 8 to 10 is your second slot. Now, again, in this second slot, it's going to be for about 2 hours, exactly 2 hours, right? Now, again, after this slot, you take a break of half an hour. Then once again, you come and 10:30 to 12:45. I have a reason for this 12:45. So you study for the next 2 hours and 15 minutes continuously, right? Then you take 1 hour break. This 1 hour break includes your lunch time, and even if you want to take a small nap or whatever it is, finish it off before this time, 1:45, and 1:45 to 5, this 3 hours 15 minutes, no matter what, you just spend the time with your books. Either you watch a lecture, or you do revision, or you partly do both, you do anything, but make sure that this is your exam writing time. So in the month of May, or whenever your exam is, this is the time at which you're going to write. You should be at the peak of your productivity. Make it a habit that you are able to sit continuously for 3 hours and 15 minutes exactly at this time. Now guys, a practice makes a man perfect. Now if you follow this, especially for 3 months and all, if you follow this, now I'm telling you, there is no way you will face difficulty in your exam hall, right? Plan your habits in such a way that your body automatically gets accustomed to it. So exam is just going to be another day. You might feel that this is so silly. No, it's time tested. Just imagine, all of a sudden during the exam time, how can you sit for 3 hours 15 minutes directly? Because sir, I'm used to sleeping in this time. Then obviously your mind, you might not consciously do, but subconsciously your body will demand sleep. But at that time you're forcing against your body, and you are trying to write a paper and all, the productivity will not come. So you need to practice yourself, and only then it will happen. So no matter what, this 3 hours 15 minutes, no discounting. Whether you're writing single groups or both the groups, there also I said in the previous video, you definitely need to practice this, because exam time is this 1:45 to 5 o'clock. Clear with this, guys, right? And then after that you take an hour break. Ideally, if you see, so before the exam time, 1 hour break. After the exam time, 1 hour break. Why have I done it like this? Because this is how your exam days will be, like this 1 hour up and down travel, 1 hour. Anyways, it will be like that. So that is the reason why we are preparing ourselves for the D-Day. That is, we are preparing ourselves for the exam day. If you do this, now nothing like it, you will be so systematic. Just try it for 1 month, 21 days you try, and then you see, automatically you will see the difference by yourself. It will be so addictive. It's a good addiction, a positive addiction, that now you will start living your life for this, whether you have exam or not. You should see the other side of it, and I'm sure you guys will, trust the process, and you guys will start, feeling that, no, so till date, I have not explored the other dimension of, my life. I think that is going to be the kind of change that you guys will experience. Mark my words. For that, it will not come overnight. 1 or 2 days, sir, I practice, I'm feeling sleepy. No, even if you feel sleepy, it's okay. Try it. Don't sleep during this time. Other time, at least during the break time, you try and sleep and all. It's okay, but try to follow the schedule. Now, after that, you have taken a break, and 6 to 8:30, and I also wanted to give you a suggestion. 5 to 6 is there, no? Now, try to finish your dinner at this time itself. Try to finish your dinner this time itself. Now, sir, 5:30, before 6 o'clock, who will have dinner? Optional. I'm just giving you an option. Now, generally, it is good to have dinner before sunset, is what people say. But nowadays, we have the practice of going to dinner only after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and all. This is a habit that we have adopted. But nature says that, you should have your dinner before your sunset. You just imagine, have you seen any bird eating after sunset? Have you ever seen any bird eating after sunset? No, they don't eat after sunset. In fact, birds generally, they don't fly around and all after sunset. The moment sunset happens, they will all be in their nest. They will not eat anything. Even if you are keeping a most delicious food that they generally come and have, they will not eat. That is the reason why birds are close with nature. So they can even know that, when tsunami and all is coming, we would have heard stories that birds will fly away from that area. They know when the storm is going to come. See, basically, that's the nature. That's our nature. But, honestly, let me also admit the fact, I also don't have my dinner before this one and all. That is before sunset and all. But that is right now. Why am I saying this? Because I have planned for a study slot, 2.5 hours in the 6 to 8:30 slot. Right, during this time, if you go for a dinner, it might interrupt. But if you have your dinner, by the time you finish the study time, you would have had a proper digestion and all. And half an hour you take a break and go to bed at 9. It will be a very peaceful sleep also. Your sleep will not be disturbed. Sir, I will take the dinner at 8:30. That's your option. But within the next half an hour, you cannot sleep. Even if you sleep, the digestion issues will come. The next day again will get affected. So that's why I'm saying, just try it once, see if it's possible, right? Try to have something light and just see if it's possible. If you want, you can break it. You can break your dinner into two. Maybe here before 6, maybe half you can have, and before and after 8:30, little you can have. You can plan it accordingly. Just a suggestion. If not, you can do it in your own style. I'm not with this. I'm not against it, but I'm just telling you what is ideal. That's about it, right? Now, if you do this, you can get a solid of 12 hours every day, right? You can get a solid of 12 hours every day. Now, if you are a person who feels that, sir, 8 hours, I don't need sleep. If you reduce your sleep quota by 1 hour, then it will increase your study time by 1 hour. If you reduce your sleep quota by 2 hours and say it's 6 hours is enough for me. During the breaks, I will take rest and all. Then your study time will increase by 2 hours, but don't go beyond this. That's why I said maximum 12 to 14 hours, depending on your sleep time, is all you've got. Make this productive. Again, guys, you need not study for 15, 16, 17 hours and all. Some people say they study 25 hours. They borrow the next 1 hour from next day. Now, all these things I don't think is required. The quality takes over the quantity. So it really doesn't matter how many hours you spent. What matters the most is the quality, and for you to give some justice to all the 6 papers, and in a span of 3 months, yes, I think about 12 hours of minimum is required. Some people even 12 hours is sufficient, provided you do it on a very good quality. Now, before that, sit and plan what are the chapters you're going to cover in every single subject. Without that plan, no, this cannot be executed. All the 6 papers you sit and decide. Do it by yourself, I'm saying, right? If someone is helping you out, if some faculties have posted, it's fine. But again, I'm telling you, whenever you are following someone, please first convince yourself whether it makes sense or not, right? Convince yourself it makes sense or not. Even right now, whatever I am saying, you don't believe it just like that. You see, if it makes sense for you, you follow. That's about it. Because ultimately, you need to take decisions in your life, and don't take a biased decision no matter what. No matter what. Clear with this, guys, right? So if you do this, so as per our calculation, you'll be having a 12 hours of study time every day, and that makes it 936 hours of overall study time. And this can be broken into your lecture viewing time and your revision time based on your level of preparation. Are you clear with this? This is for students who are not having their articleship and who are just going to appear for the exams by studying full time. Clear with this, guys? Now, let's move to the next set of people who are saying, sir, I am attending articleship. Now, how can I prepare for both the groups? I want to write the exams in May, and I just have 3 months left. Again, the number of days calculation is going to be the same. 90 hours minus 12, you get a net of 78 effective hours, right? Now, I am assuming that 1 month before your exam, that is 30 days, you will be getting a study leave. This is the assumption, which means technically in the month of April, you will be getting a study leave. And for the remaining days, you have your office. Okay, this is the assumption based on which I am doing this calculation. During your leave days, you can spend, definitely you need to spend a minimum of 13 hours. And during your office days, when you're going to office, you should definitely spend about 6 hours. If you can't dedicate this, then maybe you go for group wise, right? So now, how is this possible? I'll tell you. So last month, that is April month, 30 days continuously your study leave. So there you can spend 13 hours a day, and during your office going days, it's going to be 6 hours a day. Overall, you are having 678 productive days. Now for this calculation, apart from this, I have also considered what? 12 days, that is weekly 1 days off. Also, I have considered whether you have office or you don't have office. Clear with this, guys? I have reduced these days. If you add up, you get 78 only here. Clear with this? This is after reducing this 12. So you have a total of 678 days, right? 678 hours. Now, in this 678 hours, do the exact thing that I asked you to do. Strategize. So subject wise, you pick and do the most important chapters. But right now, you need to be super efficient. You need to be really super efficient. Now, I am taking an assumption that, now not an assumption, a practical reason I'm telling you. If this is the time that you have got, you can't spend more time on the lectures for sure. If this is the time you've got, you can't spend more time on the lectures. Even in that case, I am assuming that of the total hours you've got, you are going to spend 300 hours in watching the lectures. Only watch those areas where you are completely zero in knowledge. If you have some knowledge in it and if you feel that you can do self-study, please do self-study, because I'm not sure if you will be having the time to watch the lectures and then revise, right? I'm talking about students who are attempting both the groups with their articleship on. Clear with this, right? Even in that case, you will be getting about a solid of 300 hours to view the lectures and 378 hours approximately to revise them. Clear with this, guys? And this on an average bogs down to 50 hours of viewing lecture per subject and 63 hours of revising that subject with your books, which means even in this assumption, even if you are a person who are going for an articleship with 1 month study leave and 2 months of office, you can still achieve on an average 113 hours per subject. Now, how many hours you're going to view the lectures, how many hours you're going to sit and study, that depends on your level of preparation based on the subject. What I've given here is just an estimate, or what I've given here can just be taken as an example. It purely depends on your level of preparation. It can depend subject wise. Maybe on an average, I said 113 hours per subject. Maybe for a practical paper, numerical paper, you may take more, theoretical paper, you might take less, or theoretical paper, you might take more, numerical paper, you might take less. It depends on where you stand. Are you clear with this? But I'm telling you, still per subject, you have about 113 hours if you use it productively, and on the assumption that you're starting from the 1st of Feb. So leave the next 2 days also, right? So on the assumption that you're going to start from the 1st of Feb. Now, sir, during my office days, how do I plan for 6 hours? How can I study for 6 hours a day? Now, this is the plan that I've got. Simple. Go to bed at 10 p.m., right? The previous night. Wake up at 5, right? So that gives you a 7 hours of sleep. So you don't have a luxury of 8 hours, but still I'm telling you 7 hours of sleep, right? Please cut down on social media. No other option, because it's very addictive. And the moment you watch more of social media again and again, you will actually, you're compromising on your sleep. Don't think that it's only sleep time. No, the quality of your sleep decides the next day's efficiency. Now, 5 to 5:30, the same thing. Get ready with your yoga and all these things. If possible, 10 deep breaths and have a bath and all of that. Now, 5:30 to 8:30, solid 3 hours, you need to sit and study. You have no other option. You can't take a break in between and all, because anyways, you have an office full day. Guys, clear? 3 hours, right? 5:30 to 8:30, right? Then 8:30 to 6:30 is your office time. When I say office time, it means that getting ready for office, right? Traveling, having the breakfast, whatever it is, everything is included here. 10 hours a day I'm taking off, right? 10 hours a day I'm taking for my office. Clear with this? So 8:30 to 6:30. So 8:30 includes your breakfast time and you going to office, the travel time, spending the time in office and coming back home. That's all. Clear with this? About 10 hours you have. And 6:30 to 7, around this time, preferably have your dinner, right? About half an hour you've got. Then 7 to 10, you have a solid, again, another 3 hours. You can sit and prepare for your exam. This way, every day you get 3 hours before going to the office, 3 hours after coming from the office, and you are not compromising on the other time and all. Basically, if you are doing this, so you only, apart from your office, sleep and study time, you will only have time for the basic necessities like, eating or, traveling to your office and all that. So technically, you have to sacrifice on a few things like cutting down on your social media and all of that. No other option is left out, right? If you want, watch all the social media in your office, right? And okay, your boss will allow that also. Okay, guys, fine. So this is about your office days. And of course, in your study leave, that is the last 30 days, just follow the same pattern that I had mentioned earlier. Just follow the same pattern that I had mentioned earlier. So go to bed at 9, wake up at 5, you have solid 8 hours sleep. And I told you this 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes, 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 2.5 hours. That is, this portion is same as what I mentioned for students who are not going to go for their articleship, who are not going for articleship and still appearing for both the groups. Follow the same pattern that I just told you right now for the last 30 days. Clear with this? But in all the cases that I've told, this time can never be compromised. It is a golden time for you. Keep that as a golden time. Now, this golden time, you cannot afford to do anything apart from productivity. You need to be at the peak of your productivity. Practice it, no matter what. Sir, I'm going to office. Obviously, in your office, this time you cannot sit and study, right? But at least you will be doing some work. right? Make sure that you are using your mind, you are using your brain. At least to that extent, we have to see. That's about it. So you obviously cannot sleep when you go to your office and all. At least make sure that, you know, you are not feeling drowsy and all that. At least you are active with some work you're doing. If you are a person who is going for articleship and doing a study leave, anyways, this is the plan that you can follow. Clear with this, guys? And if you do that, you have a total of 678 hours, which averages to 113 hours per subject. And in my opinion, this is still sufficient, provided you pick the right chapters and cover them first. At least your exemption should be guaranteed. Subject wise, at least your exemption should be guaranteed. Then if you still have the time, you can prepare. Now, please don't think that I should study 100% of the syllabus and only then I will go to the exam. Not required. Right now, if you're starting, it's not required. Had you started 5 months back, or in other words, 8 months before the exam, I would have recommended you not to follow this approach. I myself would have said, study everything. During the last 3 months, you can strategize. Since you are in the last 3 months right now, and for some reason you have not prepared or whatever it is, right now, this is the best way going forward, right? If you still feel that this time is not sufficient for you, then you better go for 1-1 group. Else, if you don't have the confidence, then even this 113 hours per subject, you will just sit for all the subjects, and you will only do a mediocre work and you will end up failing in both the groups. No, that is not better. Something is better than nothing. So at least you write 1-1 group properly. That is better. If you feel that whatever I say makes sense, which I feel it can be strategized. If you are doing the strategy properly, you can definitely achieve it. At least try to cover those chapters that contribute to 70 to 75% of the exam paper questions. Clear with this? Don't go by the number of chapters, just go by the amount contributed by each chapters. Once you do that, at least 90% of what you have covered, you must be in a position to handle, which is humanly possible, time tested. Clear with this, guys? Clear with this? In my costing exam, in my CA intermediate, right, I have told you guys about my score and all. Now, this is not another show off part. Let me just tell you the reason for that. I scored 94. Now, if you see here, I wrote for 96 marks, right? I wrote for 96 marks and I had a 4-mark question pending and I had at the last 10 minutes with me, right? Now, in the last 10 minutes, I had an option. One option was to attempt this 4-mark question that I didn't know, or the other option was, I just thought, let me just close it up, go back and just revisit all the sums that I have done. If there is any mistake, let me correct it. Now, I don't know, I would not say it was because of my intelligence. At that point, suddenly I felt, okay, anyways, I don't know this 4 marks, let's leave it. Let's go back and correct whatever, let's find out any mistakes, if any, that has been made. Now, you will not believe I spotted about 10 to 12 mistakes, and each of these mistakes will be carrying easily about 1 mark, which means because of the fact that I decided to go back to check my mistakes, I got an additional 12 marks as compared to an unguaranteed 4 marks. So now that was actually a best decision that I took in my life. Now, why am I saying this? Now, even a better paper, I would say till date in my life, the best paper I have written is only my accounts paper in my CA intermediate. I wrote only for 68 marks. 2 16-mark questions were pending in the last minute. I wrote only for 68 marks. So I still had 2 more 16-mark questions pending. So now I just took 1 more question. I had 2 minutes left. By then I would have covered only 68 marks. I just opened 1 question. It was accounts incomplete records sum and all. I just opened some ledgers and wrote the opening balances, whatever was there in the question, and they snatched the paper from me because it was 5 o'clock. Now, you will not believe, in this paper, I scored 69. I thought that I will fail. I cried and all in the exam hall because I know the kind of efforts I put, but I couldn't implement it. But it is the quality that matters. I scored 69. Basically, I scored the entire marks for whatever I had written. Maybe for this sum also, since I wrote the opening balance, they gave me 1 mark, it seems. So, I'm telling you guys, strategize. Exam, you just think from an exam perspective. It is not the syllabus. Ultimately, they are going to ask you some questions. If you're prepared for those questions, you're done. So make sure that whatever you prepare contribute to about 70 to 75% of the marks, so that even when you're write it properly, you will score at least 90% of what you have written. That is definitely possible, guys. Are you clear with this? And you guys have MCQs as well. Even for the chapters that you are not preparing, at least go through the book back MCQs. Every chapter institute gives MCQs and all. You can go through the book back MCQs or from the ICAS study, this BOS studies knowledge portal. So you can just Board of Studies knowledge portal. You can just go there and try some MCQs by yourself. And I'm telling you guys, success is guaranteed. The most important thing is do not have the fear. Just face it head on, no matter what. Let's see what happens. Just take it head on. Now, if you have the right strategy, trust me guys, you have a lot of time. You have a lot of time if it is used properly. Now, I know in between 1 or 2 days, you will feel very down. That's why I've kept a buffer of this 12 days here. It's okay if you're feeling down, shut your books, just go and do something that you like. Make sure that whatever you're doing is not going to distract from you away from your studies. Come back with a bang and study even more. That's about it. That's about it. Fall in love with your subjects. That's most important aspect. And once you do that, once you like whatever you're doing, once the process is being loved, automatically the results will speak for itself. So do not think about the date of results today. Right now, what you have in your control is only your preparation. It's only the process. So think only of the controllables. Automatically, the uncontrollables will start working in your favor. Right, guys? Fine. So I hope you find this video quite helpful. So if you still have any queries, so you can just use the comment section and you can ask me and I will just get back to you on that. So with this, I'm concluding this video. I will see you all in the next one. So thank you all so much and have a great day ahead.